Hi all, hi again. Today we are going to see the view pattern. So before we get into the view patterns, what's view pattern is all about? It's about we have views which is playing main roles. If we are not running into just creating libraries and all, we always does have views in our projects, and we have to consider better ways how we architecture the views to behave. And today I'm going to discuss about most famous view patterns, and I will suggest the best from my opinion. It's up to you whether following some view pattern for yourself or not. I will suggest my opinions. This doesn't relate much to Flex as such. It's about common view patterns which can be implemented in Flex or any development process, either .NET or Java or whatever. So developing software is hard, and patterns help, but it's still hard. So we will figure out the best. So this is the patterns hierarchy. We have at the most four view patterns to be discussed by today. It's supervising presenter, passive view, and MVC and presentation model. MVC is about it's regarded as first pattern to separate UI data and logic in different context, and controller handles all the logic, even including the events dispatched by mouse or keyboard. Why not to use MVC pattern as such? With our current scenario, we have to develop for Flex or mobile or anything. We end up having view, and with mobile the scenario is more difficult. With we have to handle much more complexity to handle different events and all. So view testing is very much important. Testing it with automation testing is very much difficult to do with MVC, and sharing the code of same behavior across the views, similar views are difficult in MVC. The business logic is, whereas in MVC is tied up with UI logic, which makes it easier to understand, but it's the reason why it makes it difficult for testing and all. So let us see the passive view, how it works. In passive view we have model, presenter, and view. Model is updated to the presenter, whereas presenter updates the view. View doesn't know about the presenter. Sorry, the view does know about the presenter, and presenter updates the view. So view is not linked at all to the presenter, which makes view separate stuff. View should have just view components, whatever we see in the view. It should not be linked at all to the business logic. That's the way how passive view works. Presenter does updates the view, and in supervising controller it's different, where view is binded with model, although presenter controls view with complex logic. So here it is interaction with the comparison of MVP patterns. In passive view, interaction with the model is handled exclusively by presenter. View is updated only by the presenter, which makes view a separate entity. Here in supervising controller, whereas the view interacts with model for simple data binding, but business logic is in presenter, which makes the view updated. In both cases, view is almost separate. In supervising controller, simple data binding is the only stuff how it is connected to the model. Rest, its view is separate entity, makes it very much testable. With different presentation logics, we can inject different logics to the presenters, thus testing the view for its best. So we have the MVP supervising controller. It's tailored for modern UI that handles mouse and keyboard events better, and presenter depends on the view. Let us see about what the presentation model does. View knows about the presenter. It's different from what we saw previously, whereas in this presentation model, view is kind of rendering the presenter. The whole presenter is known to the view, but presenter view does have all information about the presenter, but presenter doesn't know the view, but it is written towards how we want the view to be rendered. And model is binded with the view. Model communicates with the presenter, with the presenter. So here it starts. We have the logic in the controller, which goes to the model, also to the view. Why not MVC presentation model? View is a rendering of the presentation model. That means we have to write separate presentation models for each and every view, and which makes it repetitive task. Like you have to write it in view. Also, you have to mention the similar stuff in presentation model. Though it's not linked to the view, it will be repetitive coding. So this is a famous code. Probably the most annoying part of presentation model is the synchronization between presentation model and view. It's simple code to write, but I have always liked to minimize this kind of boring repetitive code. This is the code given by the ThoughtWorks founder. So let us compare all the available views except all the 4 views. Here we have the supervising controller, and this is passive view and presentation model and MVC. L means to the UI logic, and S means the state of UI. So in MVP supervising controller, presenter controls the view, whereas view is also binded with model. In MVP passive view, here view doesn't know anything about presenter, whereas presenter controls the view, and presenter is updated from model. Everything is controlled by presenter, as such you can call it like that. And here it's similar. We have a controller which updates the view and model, and in presentation model we have the view. Presenter doesn't know about the view, but presenter is rendered by the view, and model updates the presenter. So we have these two different groups in our team, developers and designers. The best to keep the code running without dependency on each other is to have passive view, which gives view full freedom by getting it separate from model's logic or presenter's logic. So why passive view? Presentation model and supervising controller are both reasonable alternatives, though the strength that passive view is that view is very much testable, and the view update logic is available only in the presenter. So the next major step is how to create a passive view. To create a passive view, we have to separate all the responsibilities of visual display and all the event handling in different classes and should be managed only by the presenter. The view class manages the controls on the page, nothing else. The view should have only the view components. The presenter contains the logic to respond to the events, update the model, that's it. So, and in turn manipulate the state of the view. Any questions? Thank you.